Good afternoon, everyone. Let's please rise and say the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Anyone need to be kept in our thoughts or prayers? Certainly like to take a moment and think of all the people affected by the wildfires really across the globe, not only in Europe, but certainly in Western United States and Canada. Oh.
We're going to take Boy over here.
Oh, okay. We'll do it after the moment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. And we would like to take a moment to wish Dawn a happy 90th birthday. Happy birthday. And that will come up in a slide a little bit later. But we do have two guests of the club today, Sarah Burbaum and Simon Marshall Gilbert, and they will be up here talking in just a few minutes, so they'll introduce themselves then. But let's go ahead and welcome them with a song. Louie. All right, we'll go to birthdays. So we have John, Jenny, Amber, Charles, Rose, and Kate. And Dawn, are you an August birthday or did you show up in July? July 31. There we go. Birthday party was August 1st, which is why we thought August birthday. Yes. All right, so let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. All right, anniversaries are up next. Oh, we have Monica and Max. Happy anniversary. Yes, today's the 3rd. Okay, yesterday. I don't know what day it is. Madeline David Nelson tomorrow. Allison, you're up 2 this week. Randy and Steve. All right, Dan and Amy, Nicole and Jeff, and Cindy and Steve. We don't sing anymore, so happy anniversary. I hope you had a great one or going to have a great one. So, all right, and now membership. We're going to celebrate our members, starting with Charles, all the way up at 48 years, all the way down to Sandy at 3 and Beth. So thank you again for your investment in Rotary. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to many more years of your membership. Next up are meetings. Monday, August 17th, we're back here at the club luncheon with Doug Gentile about kindness and can science teach us to be happy. He did a kindness research that back in November that had a lot of press. So we're very happy he's going to be here with us. We are doing an online meeting on August 24th. We did that survey, and most of the votes came back for 0 or 1. So we did 0 in July, and we're doing 1 in August. And so Foster Squad will be our topic on the 24th. And then on August 31st, that's our 5th Monday. We've talked about what we do with those. Sometimes we go visit a member site, or we visit off-sites and have members host us. But this Monday, August 31st, we're actually going to go out and visit YSS Ember Recovery Campus. Andrew's going to host us near Cambridge. So you'll get more information about that. But it will be at the lunchtime, your normal lunch hour, because we're hoping you have that all still on your calendar and can join us at the YSS Ember Recovery Campus for a tour. We're still looking for volunteers. Is Allison having in G10, or we can have you park at Stephens if that's a little bit of a closer walk. But so if you're interested, that's a great fundraising opportunity for us. Next up, some of the upcoming events we have. The Miracle League, it's time for the Fall League. So we start August 15th to September 26th, so please let Allison know if you can volunteer for those. Next up is Pub Fiction, which you have a flyer on your table. That's coming up next week, 2 weeks? 2 weeks, yep, the 13th. So that's a fun event. I keep seeing the Facebook posts of all the specials at the stops and their themes. And then next up, the History Museum is doing their gala, Hats Off to History, and our own Ann Campbell is being honored that night. So take a look at that. You can check it out on the Ames History website. And again, in your newsletter, there's a link that will take you directly to the Hats Off to History. And then the next one that we're calling for is the Octagon Art Festival in downtown Ames, if anyone's interested in volunteering for that. Again, it's in your newsletter, and again, the link is for you to sign up. I know I'm working the morning shift, and I think there was still a spot helping to hydrate the artists, which is what I'm doing. And so that's it for our announcements, but we have brought back the brag bucket, and with Paul Lasley joining us again, he gets to, Allison, could you grab him a microphone? He is going to start back up our brag bucket. So raise your hand and get ready to brag.
Oh, it's got to switch on. Well, good morning. Now it's been a few years since I did this brag bucket, and I'm embarrassed at how small this bucket has got. I don't know who is in charge of that, but as you all know, we have a brag bucket to raise money for scholarships, and it's nice that we've got some young people here today. So this is the time for us to really pay it forward in our support of scholarships. So I'm looking for people that's got some good news to share, and I see George is already here, so tell us who you are, George.
George Belitzos, and I have 3 quick brags. First of all, I think we should...
Now wait a minute.
That's only...
You got 3 brags.
So, it's $10. Doesn't that cover 3?
Okay, for
all
you,
right.
George, I'll let you pass that.
It's 3 quick ones. All right. First of all, I think we should recognize Ann Campbell, longtime member here. The award that she's getting is a big-time award. It's called Ames History Builder Award. Several members of our club have received it in the past, but I think Ann more than deserves it. So let's give her a round of applause. No, she's very modest. That's one.
That's $3.33.
All right. All right. Good news from Hobbits Hill, my llama alpaca farm. I have a new baby llama, or alpaca. Her mother's only 3 years old, gave birth to her first 30-pound baby, completely white, and naming her Angel because she's all white. On the sad side, and pass that around so people can see Angel. And if you have grandkids in town or visiting soon, or grandchildren, yeah, please come and meet her. We're teaching her to kiss because she's starting to kiss, and it's very hard to do. We've only had one llama who kissed people, and that was Bridget. We taught her to kiss. She was born at our place, lived there for 20 years. The day that she was born, Angel was born 5 weeks ago, Bridget passed away. So isn't that interesting? And this is a memorial card for Bridget, and I know a number of you know Bridget, have been to Hobbits Hill. She's given out thousands of gifts to visitors. So there's cards in back if you want to take one. Lastly, that's my last. Okay. As some of you know, I chair the Rotary District 6000 Rotary Prevent Human Trafficking Action Team. We have one of our members right there, and we have 15 clubs that are participating and working within their clubs and their communities to prevent human trafficking, educate on human trafficking, and we have a new member that joined us, so we're now at 17, and that's Burlington Club. And our club has just finished a big effort on collecting all the statistics from all the state agencies and all the nonprofits. We're the only ones that are collecting the statistics. I'm compiling them, and it's very hard to get stats out of state agencies. Nonprofits are more cooperative. Most states pay like a university to collect the stats, but not Iowa. So if it wasn't for us, there would be no stats. So I have the stats for anyone that's interested, a pile of them at the back of the room along with the cards on Bridget. Just as a note that 10 years ago when I first started volunteering, fighting human trafficking, we served statewide 60 survivors of human trafficking. And this year, it's over 600.
Hey, thank you, George. A good update. As I make my way back to, now be sure and get your money out and volunteer. Oh, you got something, Louis? I'll go back. We'll do you next. You have money, Louis? I knew you had money. You old retired physicians have money. There you go.
Well, I've got just a couple things. We're lucky to have all of our children visit us in June, along with Caleb, our first great-grandson, which is sort of nice. Yeah. And we celebrated our 69th wedding anniversary, July 22nd.
Yeah. Just goes to show you when you get married at 14, you can get a lot of years wrapped up. Well, congratulations, Louis. And here's more money. So, Karen, it's your mic.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Karen Sevdy, on this point, I'll just say it's with the Rotary Club of Ames Foundation. I've been talking with Dave and the Global Grants team. I'm leading a team back to Tanzania in February, the first 2 weeks. So if anybody's interested in traveling to Tanzania, give me a call.
Excellent. Good opportunity. Now, who else has got some good news to share? Here we go. I want to make sure I get the money first. I know you old bankers. Yeah, there you go.
You know, you have the small bucket, you need bigger bills.
I know. I'm embarrassed by it.
Oh, you'll do all right.
I'll fix it, though.
I just wanted to make you all aware that if you are currently in the OLLI program or would like to be, this Wednesday at 1:30 will be a Zoom preview of all the courses. And then Friday is the first day of enrollment. So get your OLLI membership. I think there are going to be 25 to 30 courses offered this fall. Wednesday at 1:30 is the Zoom review, and Friday is the first day you can enroll. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Give Jim a nice round of applause. Oh, clear in the back? Oh, I'll come back. This is getting my steps in. Jim?
So why is that $10 in your pocket?
This is a commission. You know, for somebody that can't hardly see, you're not doing bad.
Yeah, well, I see money. So I don't have so much of a brag, but an advertisement. So on the 31st, that fifth Friday, or the fifth Monday. If you haven't been to Ember Recovery Campus, I really encourage you to take the time and do it. You'll be totally amazed at what's out there. So, thank you.
And thank you, Jim. And I've been out to Embers, and it is impressive. When you ask about this $10, that's my $10 that I'm putting in here because I made the Iowa Stater a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a slow news day for them, but they included my fiddle project, which all of you have probably heard more than you want to know about the fiddles. But it was a very nice story, and so I'm in the brag bucket. And now we have another announcement.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Lang. So the week of RAGBRAI, I, for my 4th year in a row, decided to ride a day. So 68 miles from here to Marshalltown, got to enjoy all the hospitality of all the little communities in between. Pretty smooth sailing up until the last 15 miles where I walked a lot. But it was a great day. The weather was perfect.
Well, let's give her a hand for that accomplishment. 68 miles on a bicycle. Do we have other announcements, either joys or concerns? All right, here we go, Riney. You know, you could have raised your hand when I was at this table earlier, too. Would have saved me some steps. I need more steps. Here you go, Riney.
There is 5 and 5 and 5, okay?
Okay, all right, I've counted it. I've verified it.
All right. This is kind of a rare happening in our family. First of all, is my son Kurt here? Because he's the reason for all of this.
Do you have trouble identifying?
Well, anyway, would you believe I'm going to become a great-grandpa, not once, not twice, but 3 times in the next 6 months? That is rare, isn't it? Rare. First one is in a couple of months, then the end of December, and then in January. How about that?
For you, no, I can't beat that, but I'm going to stay away from the water at your household. That's okay. Now, do I have another one here? Charles, we're coming your way. We're still a long ways from having this bucket full.
You'll find out why in a minute.
Okay.
Why? Because each of these stand for something. It's more not bragging, but thankfulness. I hope this month to finish a project I've been working on for 10 or 11 years now. This will be the history of the first church in Ames, the First Congregational Church, which is now Ames UCC. It was founded in 1865. And so I hope to wrap up that.
Great.
And I'm also thankful because it's also going to be my birthday month. And each dollar, I'm more than 50, I'm more than 60, I'm more than 70,
70,
I'm more than
80.
This month will be my 90th birthday.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Charles. Do we have any others? Well, we did pretty well for a group of novices that's not been given much money lately. So we'll be back, I guess, next month. Is that right, Tammy? And, of course, I get a commission on it.
September
so
14th will be your next brag bucket. Thank you, Paul.
Hey, thank you.
And I'm putting in, as soon as I get to I'm putting in some money to thank you for coming back to doing this for us.
All right, thank you.
So. All right. Now we have special guests, Simon and Sarah, coming up. Simon, Sarah, sorry your name's not on the screen. But happy to have you up telling us about your RILA experiences.
All right, good morning. Some of you may recognize me from years past and wearing a similar blue RILA polo. But I was your conferee sponsored in 2024. Seems like a long time ago, but it's not quite. There is a clicker. Wonderful. So yes, 2024, I was a conferee. I was generously sponsored on behalf of the Ames DECA Club. I was represented and had the joy to meet all of you guys and find about Ryla. And the next day, or in the next year, oh my goodness, see how confusing time is. The next year, I came back as a team lead for my first year, and this year did my second year as a team lead. So after my second year, I figured I'd give you guys more of a proper overview of how the experience went and sort of what Ryla is. So I'm going to upfront this by saying that you guys are getting sort of what we call the Ryla magic, which is the juicy secrets behind the conference, which really goes because the activities that we do are a lot of leadership development things, a lot of team building things, a lot of icebreakers, getting to know people in a communication setting, and to recruit kids and say, hey, do you want to spend a week of your life getting to know other kids and talking about your feelings in a circle? Like, they don't want to come to the conference if they hear that. So I'm trusting you all to not tell future conferees what I'm about to tell you. But these are objectives of the conference. The whole goal is to instill these values into the conferees by the end of it. These are settings that we have determined, and the Ryla board over the years have determined to be what we need to have the future generations of leaders know. That includes being an active participant in teams, understanding integrity, responsibility, motivated to take action, being willing to expand their comfort zone, reach out a little bit, having confidence, showing empathy, and appreciating other people's strengths and weaknesses. I'm sure all of you know this throughout your life experience. You probably have some form of these values, but it gives us an opportunity to instill those into the younger generation. We do this through 3 different kinds of things. We have team time activities, which are TTAs, and these are the boots on the ground team activities that are just absolutely rough to go through as a team. They're meant to be challenging to the teams. Right here depicted, we have 3 different ones of them. This one where they're blindfolded is one called Blind Square, where the teams are blindfolded and then given a circle of rope that they're meant to make into a square without seeing it. So that kind of team communication challenge. Over here is, there's some other ones. Helium stick is a notorious one. You'll hear that from every conferee. The goal is to lower a very light stick onto the ground without putting your hands above the stick. It's virtually impossible. Then we have our wrap room activities. This is where we do our emotional intelligence training and our debrief, and this is the conferee's sort of home for the week. We give them bits of wisdom from Rotarians and team leads. We have large group debriefs so that they can have a perspective of, hey, this is what we did today. How do we feel about it? How can we grow from it? And then we have our large group activities where we have numerous guest speakers. Every team lead has the opportunity to give a guest speak on their own life experiences. And we also have all sorts of fun challenges to do with 200 other kids their age. So I'm going to pass it off to Sarah, who is one of our sponsored conferees this year, and she's going to talk a little bit about her experience.
Hi guys, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to have this experience because it was life-changing. When I first went into it, I was really scared, but I just had so much fun. So during my experience, I found a community. Ryla is just full of kind, young kids, and it's just really nice to be in a community with kids my age that have the same values and want to be a leader. And I was on Team P, and I created so many friendships. I usually don't make friends that fast, so it was really nice connecting with kids that I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for Ryla. And my other point is honesty. I've never been so honest with a group of people. I felt not judged, and I just had a great time. And I could see my own growth and others throughout the week. There's a couple kids in my group that didn't talk at all on the first day, and by the end, they were just talking all the time, they couldn't shut up. And I think that, I think that's just awesome seeing that growth in everybody. So my takeaway from Ryla is really understanding yourself. And Amy Perry came and talked in a large group for the power of peace. The first one is presence, being focused and engaged with a group. The second one is perspective. It's how you view situations and facts. It's unique to yourself. Not everyone has the same perspective as you do, so everyone sees things differently, and that's where you get to create different ideas. And we saw that a lot in the team activities. The passion, I think Steve Jobs does a really good job like saying this in a quote. Only way to do great work is to love what you do. Without passion, you are not fully immersed in a project or job. And I think I'm gonna take that when I'm older. Like, I wanna be passionate about what I do, which I think is very important. And then the purpose, like the responsibility to take action, what inspires you, what drives you, and then the persistence, not giving up when things get hard. Because, as Simon said, in the team activities, like the helium stick, it was so hard and frustrating, but you just can't give up, and you have to work as a team. And then this is my team P, but now I see them as family. Like, we're still texting all the time, and we're gonna hang out. I just love them all so much, and it's just it's amazing to see how you can go from complete strangers to family. And Ryla, it's just an amazing experience, and I hope with your guys' help we can get more kids to know about it and get more kids in it.
Yeah, so the ways you can help out with this is just continuing to support through the conferee sponsorships. We were happy to have 3 this year. I remember my year, I was the only one, so we've expanded the program wonderfully. Thank you guys so much for that. In addition to that, you can come for Rotarian Visit Day. There's a day during the week where if you're curious about what your sponsored conferee is doing, you can go and see. We had Glen Rippke come as one of our visiting Rotarians, and he served as a judge on a panel for service project pitches. Park I've seen, and Kent I've seen come for Rotary at Visit Day in the past. It's a wonderful time just to connect names to faces and see that what you have put sponsorship toward is taking direct action in the community. If you really, really love Visit Day, you can come for the whole week. Park has been a team Rotarian before in the past, and if hanging out with teenagers and reliving your college years by sleeping in dorms for a week sounds like a blast, you can do that. You can sign up. I believe the sign-up form is in March or something like that. We'll send out word as we get that kind of thing. And honestly, just spread the word. Like, if you have grandkids, if you have kids you know in high school, we take anybody who has finished freshman year and up to senior year. So if you are going into your senior year or have finished your freshman year, anywhere in that age range, we'll take you. So if you know any children who are active in your community, if you know any teens, family members, anything like that, do refer them, because we would love to have them. Thank you so much for your ongoing support of Ryla. This has been great.
Thank you, Sarah and Simon. It's great to see the dollars that we are giving to Ryla and to our young people being appreciated and making a difference. So thank you for sharing your passion and your story about being there. And maybe, Sarah, you'll continue to grow within that program and participate like Simon is doing now. So thank you very much. And Simon is here for the summer because he's usually in Ohio during our meetings. So Simon, thanks for making it work in your schedule. All right. Next up is me. I am the speaker today, and Jamie, everyone's gone. Lisa, Jamie, and Randy are not here today. So I'm just going to get right into it. So I think most of you know I took out all my history slides, so I've spoken to this group before, probably 3 or 4 years ago, but Stephens opened up in 1969. Actually, September 9th is the day they give us the official opening as the first day of 5-show run of the New York Philharmonic. But in reality, the first show with tickets was September 6th, and it was the Cowsills, which any of you in the 70s, 80s, that's what the Partridge Family was based on, were the Cowsills. And Kenny Rogers opened up with his rock band, the first edition. And so, and Stephens has been doing events ever since. What I wanted to do was update you on audience enhancements. So I've been at the building now. It'll be 11 years on August 10th. And my first meeting was actually before I even had my first day at Stephens. Warren Madden was sending me the flood information, so I knew to get the floodgates up, and was sending along all of the FP&M warnings. And so that was really my first introduction to the Iowa State Center. Is I was getting all the flood information so we could be ready if we needed our floodgates. So since then, we've done a few, most of these, all of these actually, with a little bit of university funding, have been donor-funded projects. So we redid the Celebrity Cafe in 2017 and 18, added an accessible restroom on that level, as well as that is our lactation room as well. In the fall of 2028, Simon and I just talked about the Ringo Starr concert, and that's when this space opened up. We took out rows in 10 and 11 and created another 16 spaces for wheelchairs. In the past, we had just had spots for 2 on the back of the house on either side. So we basically quadrupled our accessible seating. We took out row 12 at the same time, so we have an east-west aisleway, so you don't have to go all the way up the steps and down the stairs and back down. And we did have about $42,000 from Maintenance Improvement Committee that helped us with that project. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, actually when we were closed, we finally installed the handrails on the inside. So that building was open for 50 plus years before we got handrails on the inside. And so that was a big accomplishment that was funded through a capital project. Other audience enhancements, there's another railing on the inside, and that's the new carpet. We replaced carpet in 2023 on the main floor. And we also created that new southwest entrance. That used to have steps and just a small ramp that you couldn't get big wheelchairs on the ramp, through the ramp. And so we cleared that out, and it's easy to get into the Southwest Tower building now if you're mobility impaired, using a walker, or just can't do steps at all, or in a wheelchair. And then, of course, our new restrooms. We opened 8 new restrooms I think they opened up in January of 2024, right after that hard freeze over Martin Luther King Day that took down Warren's building. And did some damage a little bit of damage that we had to wait another month before we could get our new restrooms open. But the exciting news is these are pictures I took this morning. We have, this is our stair lighting project. So many of you may remember when the building first opened, or maybe it was in the 90s when they replaced, there used to be a string of, they weren't even LEDs at that time, they were just string lights. And through the years, the connections broke. And so we started this project. Chris Jorgensen and I were just looking at when we first put forth this project, and it was back in 2023. And so it's finally done. The nice thing is, because of the delays that we had, we found a better product. So you'll see a light on it lights the top of the steps, and it lights underneath the steps. So they have gotten all the installation done. They're tacking back up the carpet now. And that lower picture is us. It's actually a radio wave that helps do the dimming and brightening of the lights, and so we have to make sure it doesn't mess with our sound equipment, because we can't have a show come in, get on a radio frequency, and then realize our lights are going on and off, or with the beat, or whatever. So, and this will make it easy again. Simon and I were talking about Bob Dylan. When Bob Dylan was there, he wanted all the lights off, so we couldn't have our lights over the steps on at the entryways. And with these lights, we can dim them enough and they're not up high, so we can remain lit. The stairs can remain lighted even if we have somebody on the stage that says they don't want to see the lights from up above. So, and just very excited that this one is finally done. It just will make it so much better for people, because they have handrails. The handrails will go back up, and the lights, and just make it the building will be more safe, and we're very excited about that. So today I did want to talk about programming. That's the question I get a lot, is how do you program the building? And we don't, and we do it a bunch of different ways, but I don't think I've ever talked in depth about that. So really, that's what today's presentation is about. So we program a series every year. So it's anywhere from 12 to 16 shows. This year's brochure is on the table. We won't see the video today because we're running a little bit late, but you can go to our website and watch our 16-minute video that talks about every show. And then we book just everyday stuff that's outside of that series. So we do 200 on average, 175 to 200 events a year. Just 16 of those are what we call our series. Then we do about another 8 concerts that we call contemporary concerts that aren't part of it, 8 to 10, depending on how many people are out. And then we fill the schedule with university events. We do Vet Med White Coat. We do the fashion show. We now do Cyclone Awards. Again, Simon and I talked a lot about his involvement with Stephens and when he's been there. His band played just this past April at Cyclone Oscars, and that's for the athletic program. We do dance competitions, dance recitals. Sarah and I talked about the Nutcracker. That's what she's been to. We're getting ready to celebrate our 45th Nutcracker, which is the longest locally produced Nutcracker in the state. So we do a lot of different things. We have senior pictures going on Thursday. Paul will be on stage. We're doing an Iowa PBS interview for Iowa Life about our instrument drive, specifically the violins. And so we're just being used kind of all the time. As you know, we did the Rotarac installation on the stage. We've done a couple Rotary meetings. So we do a little bit of everything that we think that we can help fit in. So for our series shows, and even our contemporary shows, we do a lot of deciding about the mix of what we're doing, and we research through what other buildings in the area have been doing to make sure we're not coming back too soon, especially on the Broadway side. I have to wait to book our Broadway because we're single nights, whereas Des Moines has the runs of a week to 3 weeks. And so I have to wait until they've picked their show. Shows one of the examples this year is I Wanted Waitress, but it's 20th anniversary, and that was our last show that we did before the pandemic. I mean, we did that show, and we weren't even sure we were loading in, and the university was like, as soon as they canceled the Big 12 tournament, they're like, we're shutting down the campus, and I'm like, they are loading in. We're like 4 hours from showtime. So we did keep that show, and that was the last show they played as well. And then we went dark for a while. But Des Moines wanted it, so they did a 3-day run on their season, so we'll hopefully get that back. But Broadway is really kind of its own animal, its own way that we do stuff. And so a lot of times we are looking to see what Cedar Rapids is doing in Davenport. Most of the time we don't pull anyone from Cedar Rapids and Davenport or Sioux City for Broadway. That's usually a pretty local group. We'll have some people come down from Mason City and Fort Dodge because we do a few more Broadway shows than Nyack does for sure. We also look at our risk. So as we're researching and we're identifying and looking at our mix, certainly our season, we have an orchestra that we do every year, usually international, though for the last couple years we've had there's been visa concerns, and the cost, about 2 or 3 years ago, they increased the cost of artist visas like 216%. So, for example, we had Conjero from Sweden, four folk singers who came over from Sweden for a tour, and we were the first show with all four of them because one of their visas had been held up. But they were paying, say they paid $100 for their visa in 2019, and now it's, it's like $500. I can't add what 216% is of $100. It's probably a lot more than 500. But and it depends on how long you're here for. And they were on a short 3 or 4 week run. But I mean, that's either they're pocketing that or they're charging it back to us, and our guarantee is getting higher. And so that has been, and certainly for a 125-person orchestra, that becomes way too expensive for us to foot that part of the bill, even if they spread it out amongst their 12 places they're playing when they're in the United States. And there certainly has been changes in how the tourism departments in their countries are supporting international travel to the United States too. So, when Ukraine would come over, they would be covered by their Ukrainian tourism department. They would get a grant, and that's how Conjero came over, and that's how Cardamom came over, is they had grants from their country's tourism department that helped them get over here. So once we've identified and researched and we're talking about specific shows, we do what we call a risk assessment. So the risk assessment is basically a spreadsheet that we put their guarantee in. If they have if they require NAGBOR, which is usually a royalty. So there's royalties in NAGBOR, and that's a before or after tax thing. And so Broadway especially, we might be at $45,000 plus 10% with a 65-35 back end, meaning that once all of our expenses are paid for, they still get the next 65% of the revenue, and we only get 35. So it's getting increasingly harder to make it go on just ticket sales alone. We have a wonderful group of people that we call performance underwriters that help us with additional gifts that go right directly into programming and bringing Broadway and orchestras and ballet and world music to our stage. We couldn't do it without that developmental, that fundraising support. And so that also goes into the risk assessment. If we have somebody who is underwriting it, we're able to add that in. Once we do the risk assessment, we're looking at what we call their technical riders. That tells us how many stagehands they need, how long the load-in is. So we're able to put, if they need 4 more people in front of the stage for security. So once we go through that, we have all of our expenses done. That helps us set our ticket price and how many people we think are going to come to the show. So once we do that risk assessment, then we decide what we're going to offer for that show. So, and we may not be offering what they're asking for. So that's where it gets to be, it's like, okay, am I willing to? We walked away from a couple shows this year, 2 Broadway shows that I was unsure about, and they weren't able to come down on their guarantee, which I understand they're paying a lot of people too. But for us, the risk was too great. And so we do look at that, and there are shows that may end up going to Cedar Rapids or Des Moines, but we just didn't think we could make it work. And once you aren't breaking even on shows, And if your performance underwriters can't help you get to that point, then it starts affecting our entire bottom line. So we do spend a lot of time trying to make sure we're getting right fits, yet we're doing the right mix, and we're being accessible and inclusive in our programming as well, to make sure that we're not just doing concerts that we know will sell out. We're doing a jazz show, even though we're not thinking we're going to have more than 500 or 600 people there. That's okay. We've priced it and we've negotiated the price so we can break even at that number, and then everything we have over that is a positive. So the way you can help with that, you can become a performance underwriter, or you can just buy tickets and bring friends to shows. That's most important too, is just supporting Stephens by coming to shows and bringing family and friends with you. So our deal types, there are 3 typical deal types in most venues. This is not just at Stephens. We have what we call a rental deal, and the rental deal means they pay full rent. So we don't take any risk at all. We charge them rent, we charge them utilities, we charge them all of our labor, but they take 100% of the tickets. So the only piece that stays out of the tickets is our $4 facility fee, which when you buy tickets, you may see that now because they have to break it out, but typically it's just part of the price. So if the ticket price is $75, that means the show is getting $71 and $4 is staying at Stephens. And that helps, that money is helping with these projects we've talked about. That's a rental deal. We still help with marketing. We'll place ads for them, but we place it at gross, not net, which means that we're making the 15% off the labor that our marketing team is doing that. The next other type of deal we have is as a presenter. So most of our Broadway, all of our Broadway actually, we're the presenter. So we're taking 100% of the risk. Nobody else is sharing that with us. So we're paying the show and we're paying all of our expenses, but we get 100% of the ticket, 100% of the underwriting. All of that stays in Ames and at Stephens Auditorium and the university. And then we have in the middle a co-pro, which means co-promotion. That means we're working with a promoter. And we work with several promoters from some in Iowa, mostly across. We have good relationships in all of, Minneapolis, Chicago, out in LA, Nashville, New York. We work with promoters and agents both. If we're working with an agent, that means we're taking the entire risk for the show. But if we're working with a co-promoter, we're sharing the risk. And we have a 50-50 deal where we share up and down, meaning that everything is out there. We're taking equal amount of risk, and we're taking and realizing an equal amount of the reward. Now, there are shows that I'm not comfortable taking risk on, but I want the show, so we're willing to give up rent and utilities and throw that into what we call the pot. It's about that size of that bucket. So when we tear it all up from our Excel spreadsheet, and on those, we take what we call like a no-risk deal. So, for example, the promoter would walk out with 70%, we'd walk out with 30%, but we're not going to lose any money. We're just giving up rent, which is not a hard cost. Utilities are a hard cost for us because we pay the university for utilities. So we typically don't give that up, but we'll give up any of our soft costs like the gross to net advertising, that type of thing. So those are the deal types. And we do, and in our series now, it used to be 100% presenter risk. So it used to be 100% us. And we've started, and we've been probably since I started booking in the season in 16, we mix that up because I just think it's a better mix not to be at 100% risk on everything. So we share that risk, and that's just better for our bottom line and making sure we keep everybody employed and our bills paid. So so that's programming in a heartbeat. I do have a performing arts council. that we run things past, usually by email. So they'll get, when we're working on our season, they'll get an email, and there could be 50 shows on it, and they're looking and kind of voting on which Broadway we should look at, and what other shows we should look at, and what they think people will pay for a ticket price. I take calls all the time. People are telling me what they want to come see, and I go look at it, and if it's something I think we can do, and it might take some underwriting, that's the person I call back and said, you want to help support this show? Then if you give me this much money, I think we can bring it here. So we do partnerships all across the community as well. We do a KHOI fundraiser that we help out with. We work with actually the library on our Nutcracker and with our Youth Matinee series. We do a Youth Matinee series as well. That is a partnerships with the theater department, the music department, the kinesiology department, and then we just take risk on shows like Click Clack Moo and Magic School Bus and all of those too. So those are shows we do during the day. We do 6 to 8 of them a year, and it's $4 unless, and schools that come that have reduced and free lunches, they come on scholarship. So again, our funding dollars, our dollars coming in from our donors, help schools come that don't have the resources to pay for those tickets. So, just the 14 shows this year. Again, the flyers on your table in case you're oh my gosh, I'm way over. I'm sorry. Donate. So, we'll do another shout out. We just began a new giving fund. We have a number of funds if you want to donate. Our Performing Arts Series, our CY Stephens Auditorium Fund, that's a new fund that we put into place in 2020, late 2020, early 2021 because of the pandemic, and we didn't have a fund that could help us with daily expenses, so that fund came into be. We have a Stephens Renovation Fund, which helps with the renovations. We have an IOFA Fund, which is Ames International Association of Festival Ames International Orchestra Festival Association. We have their annual meeting tonight. That's a fund. And then our new fund is the Violin Instrument Drive Fund. So we began collecting instruments for a holiday giveaway back 3 years ago. And instead of doing a Toys for Tots or a food drive, and that is now a year-round program. We've donated over 100 instruments to area schools over the past 3 years. Some dude started dropping off violins like 3 or 4 at a time, and we were trying to catch him, and finally we caught him, and then I wrangled him in the parking lot and said, I want a story done about you on this, and Iowa State agreed, and so Paul really has breathed some life into that program, and we're going to be able to tell everybody about it through PBS sometime this fall or winter. So that new giving fund just came into place 2 weeks ago, and we've already had 3 donors to it, mostly because Paul. And so I just thank you for that. It's people, it's just individuals in town that find performing arts to be of value to them, and that's one of the reasons we're successful. So sorry I ran over. Happy to take any questions, or I'll stay. I'll probably go ahead and close the meeting, and you can come ask me, so that way people can leave if they want to. But I need to do the survey. Can you do the 4-way test? Oh, yep, you all know about that. All right. Other things we think, say, or do? Ooth. Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
To the 2026-2027 season. Let's take a look at what's coming to the stage.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy.
The Temptations, often referred to as American music royalty, are world-renowned superstars of entertainment, revered for their phenomenal catalog of music and prolific career. They are one of the most iconic, best-selling brands in the entertainment world today. While the group has evolved over the years, Dr. Otis Williams has continued to lead the group and carry the torch forward for the next generation of Temptations fans. The Temptations are headlining concerts around the country throughout 2026. Their concerts include fan favorites such as My Girl, Just My Imagination, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and more. The Temptations always look forward to serenading fans with their soulful voices, lighting up stages with their famous Temptations walk, and bringing joy to audiences of all ages. The world's most iconic ballet. Enter a world of magic, mystery, and breathtaking beauty. World Ballet Company's Swan Lake brings Tchaikovsky's timeless score to life with 50 classically trained dancers, over 150 radiant hand-sewn costumes, and lavish handcrafted sets that transport you from moonlit lakes to opulent palace halls. Every scene is visually spectacular, leaving the audience in awe. Experience the iconic moments live, such as the 32 fouettes, Dance of the Little Swans, and many more. This season, in select cities like Ames, the World Ballet Company's Swan Lake will be accompanied by a live orchestra.
Mama Mia, it's your hands. Here I go again. My, how can I resist you?
Mania, the ABBA tribute, has successfully toured every continent in the world and has played more than 3,000 live concerts in over 35 countries. The show enjoyed a 100-date sellout USA national tour in 2024 and continues today in its quest to bring the music of the Swedish supergroup to millions of fans, old and new.
If you change your mind, on your feet, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me.
Featuring an extraordinary cast of talented musicians and performers, Mania, the ABBA tribute, delivers an authentic and unforgettable tribute to the legendary Swedish band that has captured the hearts of fans for generations.
Take a chance on me. Gonna do my very best and make your life.
With stunning costumes, energetic choreography, and impeccable musicianship, Mania, the ABBA tribute, recreates the magic of ABBA's music in all of its glory. From Dancing Queen to Waterloo and Mamma Mia, the show transports audiences back to the disco era. With stunning visuals, electrifying performances, and all of ABBA's greatest hits, Mania, the ABBA tribute, is a hit with audiences worldwide and maniacs who return every year.
Thanks a lot!